Jay-Z 444. Here we go. Here we go. Lemonade by Beyonce, still fresh in my mind. My wife and I did a reaction to that a couple weeks ago. Cool album. Very good album. I loved how Beyonce walked the line between expressing herself, being raw, being open, kind of getting all these things out about what was going on, while also not dragging in all the dirty details and airing out their laundry and all that kind of stuff, right? I feel like Lemonade was a great example of just, I'm going to get this out there. Let's deal with it. Let's acknowledge it. Let's make lemonade out of the lemons I've been handed, but also keeping things private, which is wildly appropriate, in my opinion, especially if you're a person who's trying to restore a relationship, you know? As you air all these things out, your risk to just tear it all down. Last week, album I listened to was Maps by Billy Woods and Kenny Siegel, and this all, to me, relates really well because I can like conceptually get the idea, the understanding of what it would be like to be rich, be famous, go around the world and have all these women want to sleep with you and all this other stuff. Right. I can understand that's a real thing. I have no idea what that's like. No idea. Right. No idea. And with Maps by Billy Woods, that was such a great ride because you kind of get this perspective, this disjointed, disoriented perspective of a guy who's kind of making it as a rapper. He's not necessarily the biggest. He's not a nobody. He's kind of in that weird middle spot, you know? And you get the experience of touring. And something I forgot to say on the additional thoughts video for that, or the review for it, was I loved the final verse on that album where he's talking about how he's in the park and he's watching his son with his not his wife, it's his baby mama, but whatever. And he says how it hits him real hard that anything can happen to this guy. And, you know, he's been climbing the jungle gym higher and higher and all this other stuff. And the final line is, I wonder how much more time I got to live, or something like that. And I love that conclusion because throughout Maps, it's just this scattered, helter-skelter stream of consciousness and distractions and mental interruptions. And he's in a place, but he's thinking about somewhere else. And he's with people, but he's thinking about her. But then when he gets home, all that shit kind of goes away, right? It just snaps back to, holy shit, I have a son, and I want to take care of this guy, and I really hope I can live long enough to be a good father, right? That's it. That's how it ends, which is perfect. All of this feeding into Jay-Z and being a massive star, tons of money, all kinds of fame, all kinds of women, just temptation, temptation, temptation. And the reason why I mentioned these two artists side by side is because when you're Jay-Z and you go home, the distractions probably don't go away. You know, especially with somebody like Billy Woods who doesn't show his face. When you're Jay-Z, you're always Jay-Z. And I mean, I'm sure when he's home and in private life, you know, whatever, right? But what I'm saying is on the Maps album, he's talking about, you know, NYC tap water. He goes back to this bar. He's home again. And he's just kind of like, oh, man, I'm glad I got out of here. Jay-Z can't go to a bar. Like anywhere he goes, he's going to be the rich, famous person that he is. All of that to say, you know, I'm coming up on 21 years of marriage. I've never had an opportunity to cheat on my wife. I've never had a desire to cheat on my wife. It's just nothing. It's not a thing, right? In my mind. And honestly, this might sound bad, but honestly, my wanting to be present for my son is almost more of a deterrent than my relationship with my wife. Like, obviously, if I cheated on my wife, it would devastate her and that would not be good, obviously. But I feel like my relationship with my son would even be more damaged because our family is so healthy and strong and loving and caring, and I would just punch a hole right through that forever, you know? And so that's more of a deterrent in my mind. Not that I need one, because again, the opportunities never come up. I say all these things because I'm trying to run parallels in my mind of what it's like to be this famous rap star, famous whoever, right? Where just anywhere you go, there's women that are going to swarm you. Being married to somebody like Beyonce, who in her own right is a massive, massive star. And I can't even put that together. Like being famous, rich, all this stuff, and then being married to somebody who can rival you in a way. and just being surrounded by temptation and all this shit. So I don't even know what I'm so off in the weeds, right? I'm trying to address like 5 things at once. Basically, in a way, I suppose I sympathize with Jay-Z for the situation that he was in terms of like these supposed affairs. I don't know anything about the details, whatever. But like sleeping around on Beyonce, obviously Beyonce has every right to be upset. I don't know how surprised she was, but... And I just, in my mind, I try and fathom these worlds, these existences that these other people have, and I fucking can't. I just can't. But I do come in with an open mind of just trying to understand the male mindset and all of the temptation, persistent temptation, how hard that has to be to turn down. Like imagine going to work, you're on a diet, you're trying to lose a couple pounds, and everywhere you go, free donuts, free, fresh, delicious. Oh, it's your favorite kind. It's even the little donut holes. You could just have a little donut hole. Nobody would even know. Like that persistent temptation has got to be so hard to deal with. Oh, anyway. Okay, that's a 6-minute opener. I don't even remember what I said, half of it. Let's drop in. The first track is called Kill Jay-Z. I did glance at the summary here. It says it's him killing his ego. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, there's going to be 2 videos. So this is a normal reaction video for the album. I'm doing the 10-track version. I was told to do that. I'm going to do a second video where I react to all of the music videos after this. So separate video. That's going to be Patreon only. And I'm going to do the 3 additional tracks that exist on the title version. I'm listening on Spotify. But anyway, let's drop in. Kill Jay-Z, track 1, off of 444. Here we go. Let's check it out.
Kill Jay-Z. They'll never love you, you'll never be enough. Let's just keep it real, Jay-Z. Fuck Jay-Z. I mean, you shot your own brother. How could we know if we can trust Jay-Z?
Huh.
And you know better, nigga. I know you do. But you gotta do better, boy. You owe it to Blue. You had no father, you had the armor. But you got a daughter, gotta get softer.
Yep.
Die, Jay-Z. This ain't back in the days. You don't need an alibi, Jay-Z. Cry, Jay-Z. We know the pain is real, but you can't heal what you never revealed. What's up, Jay-Z? You know you owe the truth to all the youth that fell in love with Jay-Z. Fuck wrong with everybody is what you're saying, but if everybody's crazy, you're the one that's insane. Crazy how life works. You got a knot in your chest. Imagine how a knife hurts.
Looks like it's just one verse. Okay. Oh, fuck. Let's finish it up. Let's just let it play through.
Nigga, never go Eric Benet. I don't even know what you would have done in the future of the niggas playing football with your son. You would have lost it.
Holy shit.
13 bottles of Ace of Spade would have did the Boston. Nah, Jay-Z. Bye, Jay-Z.
Huh. I just let it finish. Honestly, I'm not too into the production on this one. With everything that he's saying, I feel like the production should have been more aggressive, more painful, I suppose. I don't know. Okay. Honestly, first listen, first impression, that was okay. I want to go into the lyrics. I liked what he was saying. But right now, my main difficulty is the words that are being said, good, important, so on, versus the sound of the vocals and the sound of the production. It both sounds pretty soft. Now, maybe there's intention to that. There's probably intention to that. And I think really my disappointment is coming off of my own personal expectation. And so what I'm taking is I'm taking my expectation and telling the song, you have to match this expectation. But that's not how music works. Music is its own thing. So I need to dump my expectation. Let's not turn this into another, if you're reading this, it's too late reaction, right? For the record, my son has told me multiple times that's his favorite video of mine, where I'm just shitting on Drake the whole time. Let's go through some of these lyrics. There's some references here that I don't understand and I want to look into more. Fuck Jay-Z, you shot your own brother. What's that? Mentioned non-fatally shooting his crack-addicted brother Eric in the shoulder when he was 12 over a stolen ring. Wow. Okay. I mean, I do like in terms of what he's saying, how he's just fucking dumping it all out. I really like that, and I appreciate that. I think that's great. You better know, I know you do. Better get better. You owe it to Blue. So he's just talking to himself, right? And Blue is his daughter. You had no father. You had the armor, but you've got a daughter, so you've got to get softer, right? That's great. She is not in the same situation you are in. And what he did in terms of his own survival of not having a proper parent structure in his life, that doesn't translate into her life. So you've got to drop that, right? You can't carry your baggage forward because then you just hand it off to the fucking next generation. You got to drop the baggage. Can't pick up no crown holding what's holding you down. Can't pick up your own kid if you're fucking holding all your own baggage from childhood, right? You don't need an alibi. Let's see. Crazy. We know the pain is real, but you can't heal what you never reveal. Another element of his own personal issues, baggage, right? You've got people you love, you sold drugs to, you got high on the life, that shit drugged you. So this was something I was talking about in the beginning, right? I mean, I can't imagine what it's like living that life. And I mean, honestly, I would probably get swept up by it too, because it's just constant. I mean, so you have to have the willpower to say no all the time. Basically, what you have to do is not live that lifestyle. If you have the option to, you have to choose, no, I'm not going to go out and do all this crazy shit that these rich and famous people do, because it'll destroy you in a sense. Walking around like you're invincible, you dropped out of school, you lost your principles, good wordplay there, double meaning, right? I know people backstab you, I felt bad too, but fuck everybody attitude ain't natural. There was another line here. Oh, I wanted to see what this Kanye was, but there was another line here, if everyone's crazy, where was it? If everyone's crazy, then what's it say about you? Or something like that. But if everybody's crazy, you're the one that's insane. That's what it was. That's what it was. What's this Kanye thing? 20 million on the stage for 20 minutes. November, during a Sacramento's tour, Kanye went on a rant directed at Beyonce and Jay-Z. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, okay. There you go. Fuck wrong with everybody's what you're saying, but everybody's crazy. You're the one that's as crazy how life works. You've got a knot in your chest. Imagine how a knife hurts. I guess that's supposed to mean like stabbing Beyonce in the heart, I suppose. I don't know. A lot of references here. I did get a fair warning coming into this. There's going to be a lot of references that went over my head. Egg Solange on, and that's Beyonce's sister. I'm aware of this weird fight that they had in the elevator, but I haven't looked into it. Who's Eric Benet? Is that the guy who like killed his kids? Oh no, I'm thinking of Jean Benet Ramsey. That's what I'm thinking of, and the parents. Eric Benet was married to Halle Berry. Their split was sparked in part by his continued infidelity. Okay, you almost went Eric Benet. Okay, so he's just talking about he almost let the baddest bitch get the baddest girl in the world get away. Reference to Halle Berry. Reference to Beyonce. Sure. Okay. Okay, well, let's move on. Track 2 is called The Story of O.J., who I think we're all well aware of. Produced by No ID and Jay-Z. The last one was produced by No ID as well. Yeah, let's drop in. Track 2, The Story of O.J. God, I feel like I've heard this before.
Light nigga, dark nigga, faux nigga, real nigga, rich nigga, po nigga, house nigga, feel nigga, still nigga, still nigga.
Ha.
I like that second one. OJ like, I'm not black, I'm OJ.
Ha.
Okay, this house
Straight.
nigga, don't fuck with me. I'm a field nigga, go shine cutlery. Go play the quarters where the butlers be. I'ma play the corners where the hustlers be. I told him, please don't die over the neighborhood that your mama renting. Take your drug money and buy the neighborhood. That's how you rinse it. I bought every V12 engine. Wish I could take it back to the beginning.
Huh. So my initial experience with this is I'm not really into this. But as I kind of sit with it and just listen, it's kind of subdued. It's kind of odd. The sample is kind of like, it's kind of odd. It's just, generally speaking, for me, it feels a little odd. But it's almost like that's the point. You know, thinking about what I'm trying to do is zoom out. You know, so many songs. There are songs that exist. They're just, I'm going to try and make a cool song. Okay, great. There's your song. And you know, it's good, bad, whatever. But there's so many songs where you get the artistic intention in there, the creativity, the expression. And sometimes a song isn't supposed to, as weird as it sounds, sometimes a song isn't supposed to sound good. That's not the point. It's supposed to be odd. It's supposed to be unsettling. It makes you uncomfortable. It makes you angry. It makes you sad, right? Like there's lots of range in music and what it's supposed to do. And so with this, I'm just trying to zoom out and think, okay, I'm Jay-Z. Lemonade came out. I almost lost my fucking wife. Everybody knows about what's going on. I'm trying to address the shit inside. How does that make a person feel? Does it make you feel like you want to make all these awesome beats? No. Fuck no. Makes you feel like Dumbo. You know, I don't know what Dumbo is. What? Let's click on this. What's Dumbo? Neighborhood of Brooklyn. Okay. You know, thinking about O.J. And O.J. was obviously, that whole thing was back in the 90s. And him seeing that, I'm sure, was probably a bit of a mind fuck. Especially because O.J. played football, I believe, in the 70s. And so I have to imagine that Jay-Z, as a person, growing up as a kid, probably watched O.J. play football, probably cheered for O.J., probably a fan. You know, it's one of those things with, here's my hero, and holy shit, my hero is running from the cops because he just fucking killed his wife. And thinking about that in the context of, and here I've been cheating on my wife, and I've almost lost my wife, and then this motherfucker went off and killed his wife. And then thinking about the previous track of Ego, and kill Jay-Z, kill the ego. Because why? Because the ego is running rampant, right? It's tearing up his life. It's destroying his life. So seeing O.J. do something like this, what he did, and everything that transpires from that, probably a reflection on himself and going, oh, fuck. Like, this is how far this shit can go if it goes unchecked, type of a thing. So I'm glad I paused. It's kind of a long break, but this is what I'm trying to dial into. And now I feel like I'm in the vein a little bit. So let's keep rolling. I don't really have much to say in terms of lyrics. I'm really just trying to settle into the sound. So let's keep rolling. See, maybe I can catch some lyrics on the second verse.
Financial freedom, my only hope. Fuck living rich and dying broke. I bought some artwork for $1 million. 2 years later, that shit worth $2 million. A few years later, that shit worth $8 million. I can't wait to get this shit to my children. Y'all think it's bougie, I'm like, it's fine, but I'm trying to give you $1 million worth of game for $9.99. I turn a 2 to a 4, 4 to an 8. I turn my life into a nice first week release date. Y'all here still taking advances, huh? Me and my niggas taking real chances, Y'all on the gram holding money to your ear. There's a disconnect, we don't call that money over here, yeah. Still nigga.
It's just nice and reflective, man. It's considerate. There's an element of like mental pause to it. That one gets a heart. Rough first half for me because just odd. But the second verse is really, this one kind of helps quite a bit. You know, the interlude thing. I feel like if I even read the lyrics to this song on YouTube would be like, oh, you can't say that. So I'll just ignore the interlude thing, right? But really, all he's talking about is financial freedom. And then this line towards the end, you know, you're out there still taking advances. Me and my friends are still taking real chances. You're on the gram holding money to your ear, and there's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. And, you know, Jay-Z, of course, is a business man, as we're all mostly pretty aware, I'm sure of. But God, there's like, I feel like there's a couple of layers here, and my brain is already swimming. I'm 2 tracks in. I'm already just fucking swimming in ideas. Financial freedom. You know, you've got this whole chorus, you know, the light skin, the dark skin, the faux skin, the real skin, the rich, the poor, the house, the field, right? Just all these different people, all in different settings in their lives, doing different things, but still, I want to say, you know, in terms of how he's using the N-word here, I want to say it's almost like still culture, I suppose. I don't know. Hopefully I'm not way out on left field. But basically taking the idea of Okay, yeah, you're this and you're that and you're this and you're that, but we're still all the same people in the same culture, I suppose. And so then you get into this verse 2, and he's talking about financial freedom. He's talking about investing. He's talking about actual worth and value instead of chasing money and chasing those advances and, you know, showing it off like Flash. I guess that's really what I suppose is what he's getting after. Actual wealth versus flashy wealth. And the reason why I say the word culture in that is because if you think of hip hop and what generally exists in the hip hop culture, flash, right? You got your fucking jewelry, you've got your cars, you've got your nice clothes, you're fucking throwing money at the club, right? Like you're doing all that shit. That's flash. That's not wealth. That's wasting your money. That's not investing your money. That's not ensuring future wealth to come. Like he's talking about, you know, I can't wait to give this shit to my children. Y'all think it's bougie. I'm like, it's fine. So I think really that's what's going on there. Because, I mean, honestly, I agree. I go back and forth on this all the time because, of course, if you're struggling, and then you finally make it, you finally start making all this money, you're big, you're famous, you want to go out and party and have fun. Right, of course, have fun. But you're also pissing your money away when you do that. When you're buying all these fucking cars and you're spending fucking $10,000 at the club, I hope you're having fun because you are pissing your money away. Cool song. Cool song. I think there's a lot here that I don't get. Yeah, there you go. That's okay. That's okay. Let's move on to track 3, which is called Smile. I've been told to pay very close attention to the third verse on this one. So let's jump into track 3. It's produced by No ID, Jay-Z. It's featuring Gloria Carter, which is Jay-Z's. Gloria Carter would be Jay-Z's mother? I don't know what that's supposed to fucking mean. Is she his mother or not? I don't know. I'm just going to assume that she is. Okay? For the sake of argument. Track 3, Smile.
Good morning, friend.
Smile. You recording? Slamming Bentley doors like we invented doors. 20 years ago, we drove Bentley and Zars. We're drinking Cristal in. Yeah. Kept the tray on me like Chris Paulin. Drinking Ace Spade like it's codeine now. Trying to put $1 million on the whole team now. Push through the pain so we can see new life. So all the ladies having babies see a sacrifice. Mama had 4 kids, but she's a lesbian. Had to pretend so long that she's a lesbian. Had to hide in the closet so she medicate. Society shame and the pain was too much to take.
Good morning, friend.
Huh. This is Trip. I did not expect anything like
that. My name did not get called. Bet before I go, I put $1 billion on the board. Hall of Fame, hope I did it all without a pen. Y'all knew that was coming, I had to remind y'all again, huh? Niggas switch side, traded pride, we don't do all that. A loss ain't a loss, it's a lesson. Appreciate the pain, it's a blessing.
Bad times turn to good memories. Smile. Even when I'm gone and you remember me. Smile.
A loss ain't a loss. It's a lesson. Appreciate the pain. It's a blessing. And I think that right there is extremely key given the whole scenario of the current situation in life, right? Jay-Z, Beyonce, all the shit that we're aware of. I didn't know this about his, I guess this is his mom. Push through the pain so we can see new life. So all the ladies having babies see sacrifice. Mama had 4 kids, but she's a lesbian. Had to pretend so long that she's a thespian. I don't know what thespian is. I think I know. I have forgotten. Had to hide in the closet so she medicates society's shame. Pain was too much to take. Cried tears of joy when you fell in love. Don't matter to me if it's a him or a her. Yeah. Jay-Z's mother, Gloria Carter, came out as gay to her family late in life. These lyrics marked the first time it was publicly confirmed. Gloria married Jay's father, Adness. AJ. Okay, good. I didn't realize that, but there's a track called Adness, the music video I'm going to react to. So that's coming up. So that's nice to know. I'm glad I clicked this. So use the marriage to hide her sexuality and true self. Thespian is another word for actor. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Did not know that. I just want to see you smile through all the hate. Marie Antoinette, baby, let him eat cake. And Marie Antoinette was, what was it, like the French queen or something like that during the revolt or the uprising? She's like, oh, just let them have cake. I don't fucking know. Obviously, I'm not a history buff, but something along that lines. And basically, I like the analogy of who cares if everyone's upset? Let them eat cake, you know? Just want to see you smile through all the hate. So let them be upset. Who cares? Bad times turn to good memories. Smile. I like this idea too. I don't necessarily agree because sometimes the bad times are just really bad, and it's very difficult to smile through them, right? But hopefully, I think my takeaway from this, you know, if you kind of keep going through the verse, my takeaway is hopefully the bad times you forget them, and in their place you just have the good memories. Hopefully that's not always going to be the case either, but you know, that'd be nice if it worked out that way. I like this whole flying paper planes through the projects. Now the whole project is on my jet. That's cool. All right, let's roll into the verse 3. This is something I need to pay close attention to. I like this little sample bit right here.
I mastered my aesthetics. I know you often heard me wax poetic about being back in the Lexus, but trust me, that was nothing. A nigga up in the hundreds of millions, I have no ceilings. Oh, this that feeling, I'm that boy. Anita Bakers, you bring me joy. Slapping out of the toy, the separation is clear. In my rear view mirror, objects is further than they appear. Oh yeah, I was born with a pair. Playing for high stakes. Norman K. Kilos dumping out of the lip. Hard niggas can't relate. Fuck a slice of the apple pie, want my own cake and charging my own fate. Respect Jimmy Iovine, but he gotta respect the Elohim. It's a whole new regime. Everybody wave bottle, the guy you thought you can lotto. This was meant to be a haiku. But my story's too wide to fit inside. The line is too old. Is that drugs? Hair on floor, I spaz on the stove. This is hope, no flex on, nigga. Who lied to you? Look, you're a pedestrian. Don't ever question the security. I provide you. Oh, y'all thought I was washed. I'm at the cleaners, laundering dirty money like the Teamsters. Shout out the Hopper back home, me in the church. When I heard you got booked, that shit hurt. Cause the more I reveal me, the more they afraid of the real me. Welcome back, Carter. Smile.
Wow. Yeah, that was
Living
fucking
in the shadows.
phenomenal.
Can you imagine what kind of life
Holy
it
shit.
is to live? In the shadows, people see you as happy and free. But life is short and it's time to be free. Love who you love because life isn't guaranteed. Smile.
Little bit of sideways Bob right there, just for a split second. Love who you love because life isn't guaranteed. Fucking A, man. That was great. That great outro right there. You know, and how can I want to talk on this, but again, 3 songs in and my brain is fucking just swirling. There's a lot going on here. Something that is throwing me off a little still is the production. Very subdued, kind of muted, kind of off to the side almost. And it almost has like this just kind of passive energy, just kind of present, you know? And I'm surprised by that. And again, that's my own expectation that I had coming into this, and I need to keep pushing that off because I can't place an expectation on an album. The album is what it is, and I got to just listen to it. I love, though, the world is changing, and they say it's time to be free, but you live with the fear of just being me. Living in the shadows feel like the safe place to be. But life is short, and it's time to be free. And obviously that's a big deal because of his mother, obviously, but it relates to fucking Jay-Z as well. And it relates to his relationship with his own wife and the lies and the things that he's keeping secret, right? To protect her, to protect himself, and try to protect the marriage. But really, if you want to restore a relationship, you got to blow it all out in the open. And that does obviously come with the risk of destroying the relationship. But if you can't be honest, there's nothing there anyway. There isn't. That's always the reality. If you don't have a relationship that has trust, then it's just a bridge waiting to collapse. Probably when you're right in the middle of it and it's the worst time for it to collapse. This relates so much to social media and all the shit that we put up online and, oh, look at all the happy things. And although there is almost like an inverse to it too. Sometimes you find these accounts, it's like all they do is talk about how depressed they are. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, right? But I like the whole outro because it's just the embracing of the self, truth, reality, whatever you want to call it, right? It's all part of it. And I go back to the ride, and I talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago, but it's just, life is a ride, and sometimes shit sucks. Sometimes you don't like the ride. Sometimes it's a little too bumpy. Sometimes it turns a little too sharp. I'm old. I hurt my neck a little bit. You just fucking keep going. And you can either resist it and hold on as tight as you can and close your eyes and try and be afraid of it and hate it and whatever. And you can do it that way if you want to. Yeah. And the ride will end. And you'll have missed the whole fucking thing. You've hid from it the whole time. And what was the point then? Jesus, this third verse. Yeah. Old Head. So Old Head is a member in the Discord server. And he told me, you better go over every single line on this verse. Otherwise, I'm burning down the Discord server and all this stuff. I'm not going to go through every single line. But this was pretty incredible. I think my real question is this essentially freestyled? Because I know he doesn't write. I know he has stuff in his head. But really, this verse, it kind of felt like, and he even says it somewhere, it kind of felt like he just started going. Like he probably came in with an idea of what he wanted to say. And then it felt like at one point it just took off on its own. A lot of references here I don't know, like this Jimmy Levine. There's a lot of names being thrown out here. Our music is ours. Own their own houses. Ours was like, fuck you, pay me. Now it's fuck paying me. I pay you to put the rest away for both. So it's not even about, I want my money. I want to get paid. No. Now I've got so much money. I'm paying other people to manage it for me and my family. That's right. Wealth, proper wealth, right? Not flash, proper wealth. You get this interesting, the blood money I giggle at. Can't even support my missus habit. Jewelry shopping. And it says Paris. I'm assuming this is Paris. All your jewelry should be embarrassed because that's what rhymes with Paris. Blood diamonds dripping with guilt. I still ain't tripping. That's life. Winners and losers. Drug dealers and abusers. America like me. Ruthless. And this is something I kind of appreciate about Jay-Z in the sense of, hey man, this is the game. I'm playing the game. You know what? And you can be upset with them for it, whatever. But the fact is, that's the game. My therapist said I relapsed. I said prehaps. I Freudian slipped in European whips. So he's off in Paris with his missus, all that shit. God sent me to break the chain. I'm the true and living, God in the flesh. The rest of these people in vain is vain. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Saying his name is in vain. They're vain of him and his life. Oh, that's a great fucking line right there. I didn't even realize that one. A stain on the white suit, inferior IQ. People pull your shit off Tidal just to spite you. I know that Jay-Z, I think, created Tidal or is a huge owner of Tidal or whatever. I think he just owns it. I think it's his. People love you, but hate you because they can't be you. Dump them all in the bayou. Everybody wave bye to the guy you thought you could lie to. This was meant, right here, this was meant to be a haiku, but my story's too wide to fit inside the line or two. So I feel like this is where he just realized I'm going off. And if this is all freestyle, this is fucking insanely impressive. These that drugs, hair on flow, I spaz on the stove. This is Hove, no flex zone. Who lied to you? You pedestrian don't ever question security I provided you. Y'all thought I was washed. I'm at the cleaners, laundering dirty money like the Teamsters. There was a great bit too about weed being legal in Chicago or Colorado. When I heard you got booked, that shit hurt. Feel for you, bro. We know the system don't work. Take a young person's freedom over some dirt, yet it's legal in Colorado. Yet we deny black entrepreneurs free enterprise. That's why it's black market. That's why it's called the trap. That's why it's called the projects, because it's exactly that. That was great. Smile is legit. Fuck, this is taken. What am I? I'm 40 minutes in off of 3 songs. Wow. Wow. Track 4 is called Caught Their Eyes, featuring Frank Ocean, produced by No Idea. Let's drop in No ID, not Idea. ID. Track 4.
Ready for it. Ready for it.
little bit more energy here.
Lisa, nigga with the visa, nigga with that Lisa. Talking about that Lisa.
Who's Lisa?
With that Lisa, nigga with that Lisa.
Mona Lisa. Okay.
I speak the truth with everything else lies. They pretend that we can, but the vibes don't fly, bro. I survive reading guys like you. I'm surprised y'all think y'all can disguise y'all truths. I seen eyes wide as they were about to shoot. You can be a hairpin off, or you can trigger your roots. I wait till these haters don't give me that. You know the world can see just how phony you act.
Solipsistic admitted, I see you there. So it seems, so you seem. I can't tell if your image is just a flare. In my dreams,
I'm still having a hard time settling into the sound of this album. I like this first verse. I'm not going to talk too much here. Just, you know, Mona Lisa. There's the, you know, the obviously the Mona Lisa painting, very famous for just the look that she gives. And I have seen that painting in person. It's different in person. It is odd, the look. It's hard. It's impossible to describe in my opinion, but great lines here about, you know, just reading different looks from people and blank stares and reading things that aren't there. This whole thing about friends who kill their friends and hug their mothers show up at the funeral with complete blank stares. Wow. But let's keep rolling. But man, I am having a hard time kind of settling in this album so far.
I sat down with Prince eye to eye. He told me his wishes before he died. Now Londa McMillan, he must be colorblind. They only see green from them purple eyes.
Sure.
They eyes high, they eyes high. My eyes wide shut to all the lie. These industry niggas, they always been fishy. But they no biggie, your lazy eye, huh? This guy is slave on his face. You think he wanted the masters with his masters? You greedy bastard, so tickets to walk through his house. I'm surprised you ain't auctioning off the casket.
But you've done enough. Have you no sense of decency, sir? At long last, have you left no sense of decency?
Lisa, nigga with the visa, nigga with that Lisa. Talking about that Lisa, nigga with that Lisa, nigga with that Lisa.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I think it occurred to me just now, like, what's my biggest issue? And I think really the idea that popped in my head here in the last minute was, I'm surprised this is Jay-Z, I guess. And so what does that mean? That means I've only heard 2 albums, right? And the 2 albums were earlier, but kind of just bold and a little, maybe just like a little bit pompous, you know, like popping the collar, that kind of thing. Just a little, just that energy, that fucking kind of like New York, yeah, you know. And obviously, this is not that. And there are circumstances that surround this album that makes it appropriate to not be that. Like, it wouldn't make sense to, you know, you fucking Beyonce essentially calls you out on her own album, and then you come out with this album like, yeah, I'm about. So that's really the hardest part, is shifting from what I think of and know of Jay-Z to this. So this is a big shift. So it'll be interesting to see how I feel about this album after additional listens, because I think really I almost have to come at it from, this isn't Jay-Z, but it is, because it makes it more impressive knowing that. And their eyes. Interesting song. What was going on with Biggie? You know, they're talking about Prince and Prince died, and they only see green from them purple eyes. So they only see green from Purple Rain. Like, they don't see Prince as a purpose. They just see him as, you know, a source of income, of course. Obviously, ain't no Biggie, no lazy eye. This guy has slave on his face. Who's that? Slave on his face. Oh, Prince. Okay, I didn't realize it was Prince that had that. You greedy bastards sold tickets to walk through his house. I'm surprised you ain't auctioned off the casket. So this must have been also Prince? Wow, I didn't realize that. And you know what's worse, right? The person who sells the tickets or the person that pays to do it? I don't know. It's kind of weird, right? I'm going to pay money to walk through the house of a dead music artist that I like. Anyway, whatever. I'm not going to get too hung up on that. I just didn't know that was a thing. Let's just keep rolling. I feel like this song, it feels out of place, but at the same time, it feels like it's got a purpose that I'm not quite getting. And the only thing I can think of is in terms of, you know, just looking at people different, like Jay-Z himself looking at people different. But I don't really know if he is or not. Like maybe he's always felt this way and now he's saying it. Maybe coming off of the song Smile, where it's talking about getting out of the shadows and stop, you know, protecting things in order to not hurt people. You know, like Beyonce did, she just fucking dumped it all out there. Maybe this is his version of dumping it all out there. And there's more to what he's concerned about than, you know, what Beyonce was concerned about. And so maybe this, you know, I don't fucking trust any of these people in my life. Which is important to say. I don't feel like he's really gone all the way in saying that. But he was talking earlier about, you know, he's got to drop this armor and he's got to do things, you know, to be there for his daughter. Well, let's keep going. I'm still off balance. Let's drop into 444, which I believe is, from what I understand, is this. He woke up at 444 and wrote this or something. That's my understanding. So let's drop in. Track 5, 444, produced by No ID and Jay-Z.
Do I find it so hard when I know in my heart I'm
interesting sample.
down every day. Letting you down every day. Why do I keep on running away?
Nice hit right there. Good sample.
I apologize, often womanized. Took for my child to be born, see through a woman's eyes. Took for these natural twins to believe in miracles. Took me too long for this song, I don't deserve you. I harassed you out in Paris. Please come back to Rome, you make it home. We talked for hours when you were on tour. Please pick up the phone, pick up the phone. I said don't embarrass me, instead of be mine. That was my proposal for us to go steady. That was your 21st birthday.
Wow.
You mature faster than me.
I guess I'll pause here. It's halfway through the song, which is also 4 minutes and 44 seconds long. Don't embarrass me, instead of be mine. That was my proposal for us to go steady. She was 21. Holy fuck, dude. Wow. I harassed you out in Paris. Please come back to Rome. You make it home. That's interesting. I harassed you out in Paris because he made references to Paris earlier with the blood diamonds and, you know, all that shit. Don't embarrass me. You matured faster than me. I wasn't ready, so I apologize. It's in the innocence of your eyes. I still mourn his death. I apologize for all the stillborns. She had a miscarriage. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. You know, this opening portion too. I apologize, often womanized. Took for my child to be born to see through a woman's eyes. And I feel like there is some truth to that for me as well. I feel very strongly that my wife, the love that she has for me and my son is more. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know how to like quantify this. It's like better, stronger, more intense. I don't know. I have my own issues with the I don't know what it's called, but like basically my parents split up and I can kind of detach easily. So that's my own thing, and because of that, I feel like there are times when like my wife will do something and she'll feel something and I'm like, God damn, why does it just feels like she has so much more love. Like just in general, like an amount of love, you know? And it's not like I don't love her. I mean I do, obviously I do, but it's just strange. Every now and then I feel like what's wrong with me? That kind of a thing, right? And so I can kind of identify this because like I was saying at the beginning, you know, I feel like I would damage in terms of like the potential of cheating on my wife and how horrible that would be. I feel like it would ruin my son more, and because of that, I can kind of understand it more in a sense, if that makes sense. I don't know, but it is strange. It's a thing. I can't really explain it. I made a very poor attempt to do so, but I can kind of connect with that in a sense. Let's keep rolling. Interesting song. I'm curious to hear what else he says here. This is more of the sample is more of like the gut-wrenching, heartfelt sound I was expecting. So this feels more in line to what I was expecting.
I apologize. Our love was one for the ages, and I contained this all this ratchet shit, and we more expansive now. Meant to cry and die alone in these mansions, or sleep with our back turned. We supposed to vacate till our backs burn. We're supposed to laugh till our hearts stop, and then me in a space where the dark stop, and let love light the way. And if my children knew, I don't even know what I would do if they ain't look at me the same. I would probably die with all the shame. You did what with who?
Yep.
What good is a menage a trois when you have a soulmate?
Yep.
You risk that for blue?
Yep.
I'm never gonna treat you like I should.
That was great. I can't talk about the third verse. I'll start crying, but that was great. I can't even talk about not talking about it. It's gonna be hard going through some of these music videos and the second reaction. The fuck, this is gonna be hard. That's all right though. That's all right. It's good. It's good to feel it. It's good to be here. It's good to have art touch us in a way like this, even when it isn't even us. Good shit. Good shit. All right, let's move on to track 6, which is called Family Feud, featuring Beyonce.
Super Bowl goals. My wife in the crib feeding the kids liquid gold. We on a whole different mode. The kid that used to pitch bricks can't be pigeonholed. I cooked up more chicken when the kitchen closed. We gon' reach a Billy first. I told my wife the spiritual shit really work. Alhamdulillah, I run through them all. Hoey's home, all these phonies come to a halt. All this old talk left me confused. You rather be old rich me or new you? Ain't no such thing as an ugly billionaire. I'm cute, pretty much. If anybody getting handsome checks, it should be us. Fuck rap, crack cocaine. Nah, we did that. What's better than one billionaire? Two, especially if they from the same hue as you. Y'all stop me when I stop telling the truth.
It's kind of neat hearing Beyonce in the background there. This, I don't know if it's just Spotify, but like this track sounds flat, muted. I don't know what's going on in terms of the sound. Maybe I should have listened to this on Tidal, but it kind of sounds like shit, in my opinion. I am still having a hard time settling into this album. This one, I mean, I like what's going on, but just the audio quality specifically on this one, it feels off. And I'm not going to talk about mixing. I'm not going to talk about mixing. I thought this was Kanye, but apparently this is not Kanye. This person has got on all white and no socks. Emery Jones for a cocaine trafficking charge, but he never snitched. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm thinking of something. I think Kanye did that too. What has Kanye not done, really? That's the real question. Super Bowl goals. My wife in the crib feeding the kids liquid gold. We're in a whole different mode. The kid that used to pitch bricks can't be pigeonholed. This is cool. So he's just at home. They're watching the Super Bowl. Cooked up more chicken. We're gonna reach a Billy first. When we're gonna reach a Billy? I told my wife the spiritual shit really work. So it feels like they're kind of together. Hovey's home. All these phonies come to a halt. All this old talk left me confused. You'd rather be rich old me or new you. And all you people, y'all stop acting brand new like Tupac ain't have a nose ring too. Nobody wins when the family feuds. But my stash can't fit in Steve Harvey's suit. I don't know what that's a reference. I know who Steve Harvey is, but I don't understand. Right, Family Feud, the game, But what's the stash about in his suit? Oh, well, whatever. Who cares? It's kind of a neat line. Ain't no such thing as an ugly billionaire. I'm cute. Shit. And I love this whole what's better than one billionaire? Two. Oh my God. Especially if they're from the same hue as you. Let's keep going. I'm enjoying the lyrics quite a bit, but for whatever reason, to me, it kind of just sounds flat.
Yeah, I'll fuck up a good thing if you let me. Let me alone.
Let me alone, Becky.
A man who don't take care of his
That was
family
in
can't
Lemonade.
be rich. I watched Godfather, I missed that whole shit.
Yep.
My consciousness was Michael's common sense. I missed the karma that came as a consequence. Niggas busting off through the curtains cause she hurting. Kate losing the babies cause their future's uncertain. Nobody wins when the family feuds. We all screwed cause we never had the tools. I'm trying to fix you. I'm trying to get these niggas with no stripes to be official.
That's a great
small,
line.
I think Biggie.
That's a great.
Your whole past is in danger. To Mississippi. I'll be damned if I drink some Belvedere while Puff got Ciroc. Y'all need to stop.
Huh. So I really like the lyrics on that one. I really like Jay-Z and what he's doing. I'm not into the production. And honestly, Beyonce, there's a track where Beyonce was featured. Was it Kanye? I don't remember. It was a long time ago when I heard it. And I was disappointed because it was like, oh, cool, Beyonce's on it. And then she's like, it's like just like a single line that they just repeated a couple times as the chorus or something. Like, it felt like she wasn't even really present. This kind of feels the same way, which bums me out because I feel like Jay-Z could probably get Beyonce in the booth. Like, hey, you want to be on a song with me? Oh, yeah, sure. Like, I feel like not a lot of effort to get her involved on a project. I feel like, Jay-Z knows a couple people. He could probably pull Beyonce. And so I was just hoping for more from Beyonce on this one. But I love the lyrics. I really love the lyrics. There's some really clever fucking lines in the second verse here. A man that don't take care of his family can't be rich. I watched Godfather, missed that whole shit. But you keep going. Nobody wins when the family feuds. We're all screwed because we never had the tools, right? So again, this is kind of a reference to his own self. When you grow up in like a broken home, it's one of the things that's tough for kids is you grow up in an environment, and if that's your environment, you just think that's normal. Oh, this is how you live. This is life. That's what it is. It's normal. And then you just carry that forward, never even realizing what's all fucked up. And it applies to all of us. And it can apply, on the whole. It can apply in specific areas where we just don't realize. There was this thing that was up on Reddit the other day. It's just a meme, right? And it was, anyway, it was basically, the whole gist of the meme was, people who were kids who got, they got, whooped as a kid. They didn't consider that to be child abuse. And the people who did not get hit as kids were like, no, that's absolutely child abuse, right? That's like kind of like a great example of a view of normality. Like, no, that's not normal. What do you mean? It's totally normal, right? So anyway, all that to talk about, if you don't have the fucking tools when you're growing up. And what's great is for Jay-Z to take the time to acknowledge that with himself and understand that so that he can hopefully correct it so he doesn't hand that same broken tool set off to his own kids, I love this line. I'm trying to get these people with no stripes to be official. So officials that wear suits that have stripes on them. But then stripes are also kind of like a way of saying experience. You don't have any experience in this. And so you don't have any stripes, so you're not acting official. I'm trying to get you to be like official, professional type of thing. Y'all think small. I think Biggie. Another reference to Biggie there. Y'all whole pass is in danger. 10 Mississippi. I think that's a reference to like playing football where it's like, it's just the quarterback and everybody runs out for a pass, but the person's not allowed to rush the quarterback until 10 seconds. So they're standing there counting down 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, right? Doing that. So you're in danger. But I think there's more levels to it. Anyway, I think that's the reference. Al Sharpton, how is Pill Cosby supposed to help me? Woo. It's harsh right there, man. Good one, though. Interesting song. I'm not putting a heart next to that one. We'll see if I enjoy it more on additional listen. This has been a trippy experience, man. I don't know. Thus far, 444, in terms of the sound, I'm kind of not into it. I mean, I just go, yeah, it's fine. That's where I'm at right now. Old head's gonna burn the server down. Track 7's called Bam, featuring Damian Marley, produced by No ID. Let's drop in. Here we go.
Now greetings to the world. Youngster no live in a tenement yard. No. Good boy no live in a tenement yard. Too much watch it. Too much so. Them chatty.
Chatty. Call that shit nigga ho. Sean was on that gospel shit. I was on the total fucking opposite.
I like this beat.
Stuff $1 million in a sock drawer. That's a war chest in case you need your chest knocked off. Y'all be talking crazy under them IG pictures. So when you get the hell, you tell them Blanco sent you. I can't take no threats, I got a set of twins. Those were just some words you'll never hear again. For the final time, you don't believe these fools. I never seen a worker rock so many jewels. Ever. I never seen a runner with so many cars. Y'all couldn't stop me, you're not as tough as you say you are. Tata jumped over niggas, he like 5'6". Got the heart of a giant, don't you ever forget. Don't you never forget. Jigga got this shit poppin'. I pulled out the pop when we was out of options.
Youngster no live in a tenement yard. Good boy no live in a tenement yard. Too much watch it. Them so. Too much chatty.
Fuck all this pretty Sean Carter shit, nigga. Hold that drum in your ear, don't get smirred.
I'm gonna let it play through.
I'm Bobby Schmurder, anybody you heard of. Niggas could not be further. I father your style, birth of a nation that Turner style. Y'all make me turn up all this talking down. Niggas are skipping leg day just to run their mouth. I be skipping leg day, I still run the world.
It's my ambition. I come to nice up the whole nation. What a bam, yeah. Lord, I miss a what a bam. Do it, Jet. Can't you see it's my ambition? I come to nice up the whole nation. What a bam bam, what a bam bam. I don't give a goddamn, I don't give a goddamn. Well, I tell you something, Caesar. Yo, this
I like that. I like how it's chopped right there. That's cool.
Cake and dumpling season.
I like that one. I like Bam. Bam gets a heart. It's a spotty heart so far on the on the songs. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I mean, I kind of know what he's talking about. I feel like maybe I like this one the most because this kind of feels probably the closest to the traditional Jay-Z that I'm familiar with. So, you know, it's got like a little bit more of a bolder beat. Jay-Z's out there talking shit like he does, doing it very well. Great lines in his verses here. You people skipping leg day just to run their mouth. I be skipping leg day. I still run the world. I like that. I like that. It's a cool track. I like this one quite a bit. And I almost feel wrong for liking this one the most because the whole, well, I shouldn't say the whole point of the album is, you know, about the relationship with Beyonce. I was told beforehand that there are other things that he talks about. So he's kind of like a broader spectrum. It is kind of interesting to think about, you know, his relationship with her and where they're at is so, you know, in their marriage and things like that. And the amount of focus Beyonce put on Lemonade about Jay-Z. And now Jay-Z's kind of, I don't know if it's a response album or just a related album or whatever, but how much more of a spectrum of topics exists on this. Like clearly family, Beyonce, the kids, all that stuff is in here in a decent amount, but there's other things too. And I like that because it feels representative of just his mindset of what he's worried about. You know, he's worried about ensuring there's enough wealth for his family to continue on and, you know, not just pissing it all away, doing something meaningful and loving his wife and making sure he doesn't fucking ruin his kids with his fucked up, you know, his own baggage. There's a lot going on, but now, you know, he's also just talking about kind of the culture and people running their mouth and all this shit. So there's just a lot there. And I do like that. But I guess part of me feel guilty for liking this song the most so far because I feel like I'm missing the point by liking this song the most. You know, there should be other songs I feel like I connect with more, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's move on to track 8, which is called Moonlight, produced by No ID and Jay-Z. Let's drop in.
Yeah. We stuck in La La Land. Even when we win, we gon' lose. We got the same fucking flows. I don't know who is who. We got the same fucking watch. She don't got time to choose. We stuck in La La Land. We got the same fucking moves. Y'all fuck the same fucking chicks. I'm in the skirt with you. Yeah, right. I'm in the skirt with you. Cool story. I'm on the enough for this. Look, I know killers, you know killer, huh? Baby, they made me not a gorilla, huh? Glorified sea filler, huh? Stop walking around like y'all made Thriller, huh? Fake Dracos all in the videos. We shoot them in my city, though. I don't post no threats on the internet. I just pose a threat. Blame Lenny S for that. I don't be on the gram, going ham, giving information to the park. That's all spam. Please don't talk about guns that you ain't never gonna use. Y'all always tell on yourself. So fucking confused. After all they done stole, for real.
Yeah, no shit.
After what they done to Lauryn Hill, and y'all niggas is supposed to be trill. Guess we talk when you behind on your taxes and you pawned all your chains and they run off with your masters and took it to Beverly Hills while we in Calabasas and my head is scratching cause that shit is backwards.
That was great. That's my favorite track. Moonlight. I can't believe I think it's got the least amount of listens too. That was fucking great. Production-wise, production-wise, I'm not really into the production that much. It's not bad, but I'm really not terribly impressed by it. But that fucking verse was awesome. So was the other one too. This song is fantastic. Basically, you know, just kind of making fun of the culture and how the fuck are we still doing the same thing type of deal. Stuck in La La Land, you know, same flows, same watch. Can't even tell who's who. It's all this, you know, it's kind of just a big stab at the culture in general, talking about, you know, don't show guns you're not going to use. I don't pose threats on the internet. I immediately thought of Rap Snitch Knishes, which is a great track by MF Doom, obviously. I love at the end when, what's his name? Mr. Fantastic? I can't remember the guy's name. The guy that like nobody knows who he is, but he's featured on that track. You know, it's MF Doom. It's a horror. Gonna get the whole label taken down. Gonna get your moms locked up. Good track. That was fucking great. You're still signing deals still after all they done stole for real after what they did to our Lauryn Hill, and y'all supposed to be trill. That was fucking pretty brutal, man. That's real talk when you're behind on your taxes and you pawned all your chains and they run off with your masters and took it to Beverly Hills while we're in Calabasas. My head's scratching because that shit is backwards. It is absolutely backwards. Absolutely fucking backwards, man. How the hell can somebody else own the music you make? Welcome to law, right? Copyright law. Feels like a scam, doesn't it? So fuck what we sell and fuck is we making because their grass is greener because they're always raking in more. That was a fucking phenomenal song. Well done. This is kind of, again, I don't want to say what I expected from Jay-Z, but this is the Jay-Z I'm familiar with. This is what I'm used to hearing. And honestly, throughout this album, even though I've said I'm not really too terribly into it, Jay-Z has been top notch, I feel like. Lyrics are great. Rhyming structure is great. I mean, he's doing exactly what he does all the time. Just for me, so far, I'm not really into production. Track 9, Marcy Me, produced by No Idea. Let's drop in.
Yeah.
I like the sample here. It's cool.
Live from Bedford-Stuyvesant, the livest one, representing BK to the fullest. Bastard ducking when Ho be bucking, chicken heads be clucking. Back when Ratchet was a ratchet and the Vixen was a vixen and Jam Master J was alive. I was mixing, cooking coke in the kitchen back when Robin was a piston. Mike was losing to Isaiah, but he soon would get his 6-1. Gave birth to my verbal imagination. Assume a virtue if you have not. Or better yet, here's a verse from Hamlet. Lord, we know who we are, yet we know not what we may be. So maybe I'm the one, or maybe I'm crazy. I'm from Marcy houses where the boys died by the thousand. Back when Pam was on Martin, yeah, that's where
Pam
it all
was on
started.
Martin.
When Denzel
Oh,
was
man.
blotting carpet, alpaca. 9mm when Slick Rick made Mona Lisa. When Lisa Bonet was Beyonce. Other day I had divas, y'all. Hold a Uzi vertical. Let the thing smoke. Y'all flirting with death, I be winking through the scope. Shout out to all the murderers, turn murals. Plural, fuck the federal bureau. Shout out to Nostranav, Flushinav, Myrtle. All the county of kings, may your ground stay fertile. Shout out to Big Papa, Daddy Kane, heroes. Thus concluding my concerto. Marcy Me.
Must be in the air. Oh, can't walk away. I know. Just the way I'm raised. I know. You couldn't change me. I'ma take this with me to the moon.
I like Marcy Me. You know, I think Marcy Projects, I think it's a wordplay on Mercy Me. Like, oh, Mercy Me, you know. It's just like a little saying that people say, but again, great fucking wordplay. I like the production on that. One thing that's challenging is, 2 years in, listen to hip hop now, love hip hop, enjoy it, listen to it every day, and I've obviously established what I like and don't like, and I've got my preferences and so on, and so it's tough sometimes when I know what I like, and when I hear what I like, I go, oh yeah, this is, it's so easy to get sucked into that little kind of closed off world of, well, this is what I like. And so that's what makes it good. It's good because I like it, and I like it because it's good. That whole little feedback loop, right? Because every now and then you hear something that is not what you're used to, and you go, oh, well, I don't like that. Which often equates to, well, it must not be that good, right? Because I don't like it, which is not the case. Clearly not the case. And so I'm really curious to see how this album plays out for me on additional. I know there's one more song, but like I feel like now that I've had a couple tracks, because I like Bam, I liked Moonlight, I liked Marcy Me, I feel like I could roll back around to the front again and start from the beginning and be like, okay, now let's listen to this again. Just try and kind of shed off this weird expectation that I had in my head and give it another go. Oh, man. I love this. J Master J was alive. I was mixing, cooking coke in the kitchen back when Rodman was a Piston. Dennis Rodman. Mike was losing to Isaiah, but he would soon get his 6th one, his ring, right? Gave birth to my verbal imagination. Assume a virtue you have not. Or better yet, here's a verse from Hamlet. Lord, we know who we are, yet we know not what we may be. Great line. Great line right there. So maybe I'm the one, or maybe I'm crazy, from the Marcy houses where the boys dies by the thousands. This portion right here, this whole Hamlet line, and him going back, thinking about being a kid, and the ego and the attitude, and how I feel like that's an important portion of this album, because earlier he had that line of, if everyone's crazy, I forget how it goes now, but basically, if everyone's crazy, maybe I'm the one who's insane, right? Like, what's the common denominator? And I've heard this from artists before in interviews, this idea of it's your ego that makes you, essentially, here's the idea. Your ego is what pushes you and makes you believe in yourself, and what's caused you to make all this great music, which eventually leads you to succeed. And then your ego becomes your downfall. This same tool that got you to these high places. There's a great interview with Billy Corgan. I think he was on Howard Stern talking about this, where, it's because of me that we're big rock stars. It's because of me that, I made this music. I did this. This is why I'm top of the hill and all this other shit. And then all of a sudden, nobody can tell you no, or if people are trying to guide you, but your whole career and what led to your success is telling people, fuck off, you don't know what you're talking about, you're crazy, but they actually do now because you're the one that's crazy. Like, what a weird inversion, And so I love the fact that in this track, he's kind of flashing back to being a kid, because in that, you kind of discover the root cause of the ego and how it got so big, which is important if you're now trying to shed the ego. This is a cool song, man. Great beat, too. Great production, and it's great because I like it. Right, like all things, right? Slick Rick made Mona Lisa. I gotta check out Slick Rick and The Adventures of Slick Rick. Lisa Bonet, I remember her. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, yeah. Not like, you know, personally, but I just remember being, oh, God, she's hot. I love how I had to clarify that in case there was any fucking confusion and if I knew her in person. Oh, shit. All right, let's finish it up. There's one more song. It's called Legacy, which is a very interesting title, so I'm compelled to hear it. Final track off of the original version of 444, produced by No Idea. Drop into track 10, Legacy.
Daddy, what's a will?
What's a will?
Yeah. Take those monies and spread across families. My sister Hattie and Lou, the nephews, cousins, and TT. Eric, the rest of B for whatever she wants to do. She might start an institute. She might put poor kids in school. My stake in Rock Nation should go to you. Leave a piece for your siblings to give to their children too. Title to Champagne, do say I like to see a nice piece, fund ideas for people who look like we gon' start a society within society. That's major. I remember like listening to Wu-Tang, and they like, your seed, marry his seed, marry my seed. That's how we keep Carter money all in the family. You see my father, son of a preacher man, whose daughter couldn't escape the reach of the preacher's hand. That charge of energy set all the Carters back. It took all these years to get to zero. In fact, I hated religion, cause here was this Christian, he was preaching on Sundays versus how he was living Monday. Someday I forgive him, cause strangely our division led to multiple religion I study. Muslim, Buddhists, and Christians, and I was running from him, but he was giving me wisdom. See how the universe works? It takes my hurt and help me find more of myself.
Great ending. I'm glad I did this version and stopped here. That is a excellent closer for sure. That gets a heart too. So the final 4 tracks all got hearts. Let's talk about Black Legacy a little bit before I do closing thoughts. Didn't know anything about this whole my father, the son of a preacher man whose daughter couldn't escape the reach of the preacher's hand. Talking about child abuse and normality and all this other stuff. That charge of energy set all the Carters back. It took all these years to get to 0, in fact. So it's just being buried in the negative, right? I hated religion because here was this Christian who was preaching on Sundays versus how he was living Mondays. Someday I forgive him. Because strangely, our division led to multiple religions. I studied Muslim, Buddhist, Christians, and I was running from him. He, capitalized, God, was giving me wisdom. See how the universe works. It takes my hurt and help me find more of myself. It's a gift and a curse. That's called the Red Queen's Race. Is that Alice in Wonderland? Yeah. Off with your head, right? Right? Isn't that the... Oh, the concept of the Red Queen's Race has since become a mental model for the idea that one must work hard just to keep up with the rest of the world. Sure, I suppose. What was verse 1? I don't understand. You know, there was a time in America wouldn't let us ball. Those times are now back. It's just called Afrotech. What the hell is that? I don't know what Afrotech is. Oh, the exclusion of African Americans from the tech world. Okay. Okay, sure. Cool track. You know, and I was talking before about all of the things that Jay-Z is looking at, and it's kind of, it is great to conclude this type of album with a song that is based off of legacy, generational wealth. That was something Kendrick talked about in Big Steppers. I don't remember which song it was, but it's just one line, you know, now I do it for generational wealth. So they basically talk about how he isn't going to do shit for small money. Like if people want him to do something, it's going to be a lot of money. A lot. Because he's looking for generational wealth. He's not looking for money. And so I wonder too if he's kind of been inspired by Jay-Z. I'm sure he has. Well, kind of an odd experience. For those of you who love this album and are greatly concerned with my reaction thus far, let's see how we feel on Wednesday. It always takes time. I remember listening to Kendrick Lamar's Damn, and I remember finishing the reaction, stopping the video, turning off the camera, turning around and walking to the kitchen going, holy shit, I didn't like it. There's a Kendrick Lamar album that I didn't like. Just thinking that, oh my God, like kind of going through, and then I listened to it. What was interesting for me with that album was I put it on backwards because people talked about you could actually kind of listen to it in reverse and it has its own order. And I liked it more in reverse, and then I listened to it I'm not saying I don't like this album. I am saying I'm already wanting to listen to it again to see how it felt compared to the first one, because that first drop in it was kind of throwing me off. It took me a while to settle in. The back half I enjoyed more, obviously, because it kind of gets into a little bit more what I would call conventional Jay-Z, even though I know not a lot about Jay-Z to call convention, right? But overall, a cool album. I like what Jay-Z was doing in terms of lyrics. He was saying a lot. There's a lot of references I know I missed. There's a lot of stuff I kind of didn't understand, and I didn't want to spend... One thing I get uncomfortable with is spending a lot of time trying to figure out like a reference and reading annotations that might not even be accurate just to finally come to the conclusion of, oh, so he's talking about this guy. You know, like I feel like that's poor content. So there's a lot of stuff, if I don't get it, I just kind of go, well, whatever. Let's move on. He's referencing something. And then too, sometimes with hip hop, some of these guys, man, some of their references and their layers and their double meanings, they run so deep, it's exhausting. It's just too much. Overall, I mean, I actually, now that I kind of take a step back, I did enjoy that experience. And I basically, I just ready to listen to it again. Now, I am going to listen to it again right now. Patreon only. I'm going to do a reaction to all the music videos. And there are 3 music videos for the 3 songs that are on like the bonus edition or whatever the fuck it is. So that's coming up next for me. If you want to watch it, Patreon's $2 a month. I appreciate it if you want to join. Yeah. And we'll see what the final conclusion is come Wednesday. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Did I warm up to 444 or do I just go, meh? I already don't like, I get nervous just like joking about that because I know people are going to be all fired up about it. But, you know, it is what it is. All right, you guys, take care. We'll see you.